up, YouTube family? And we're back with another edition of Round One Sports Talk. Join me as we talk about NFL scores and more, the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight, and Jamell Charlo, all that and more. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, the highly anticipated matchup, boxing match, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Jamel Lion Man Charlo. I call him Lion Man, it's Iron Man, but you guys know. So, before we get into that matchup, let's touch up on the NFL scores going around the league. We have the Lions and the Falcons. They went head to head. The Lions were victorious, 20-6. The Chargers and the Vikings were in a close one where the Chargers sealed the win, 28-24. The Saints and the Packers, that was a tight one, 18-17. They lost a close one. The Texans and the Jaguars are 37, Texans 37, Jaguars 17. Now, what are they putting in the water in Miami? These Miami Dolphins are, what can you say? Their offense is exploding. This is what they're doing right now. Look, they put up 70 points against the Denver Broncos. Those are college numbers. I don't remember ever watching an NFL game and watching someone put up 70 points. And if I have, I don't remember it. Okay? So, in fact, during the game, the Miami Dolphins coach had the opportunity to put his name in the records books as being the team and the coach, because it would go down with this team, that they were the most team in NFL history to score the most points. Now, not wanting to add insult onto injury, he elected not to kick the field goal. Well, he's a better man than I am, because at that point, if I were beating you 45-0 and I just didn't want to add insult to injury, and I wouldn't kick the field goal or score one more time on you with like 30 seconds in the game, and I'm playing you like it's the first quarter. I wouldn't do that to you, make you look that bad. But at this point, someone's already getting fired. Someone from the Denver Broncos organization must have gotten fired, okay? And, I think I probably would have kicked it, because you're not going to do that every day. Although we might say that, the way the Miami Dolphins are looking right now, look, it's way too early in the season to start saying that this is what they're going to look out for this is what they're going to look like for the rest of the season. It's a little too early to say that. We have to look at the teams that they match up against, and their competition, and how they perform. But they're just out there playing. It looks like high school football to me. They're doing whatever they want. I mean, they're doing no-look passes, not once in a game, but twice in a game on you. Like, it was ridiculous what they were doing. And Hill, he's just amazing. He is just amazing. I mean, that guy, there's not too many people that are going to catch him. Once he catches that ball, and if he got a step or two on you, all you're going to see is the back of his cleats, because he's taking it to the house. So, let's move on. The Bills are victorious over the Commanders with 37-3. The Colts were victorious over the Ravens, 22-19. The Patriots beat the Jets 15-10. Now, the Patriots is a home team. I'm from Massachusetts, and I'm a little concerned with New England with their offense. It seems like right now, I'm not an NFL coach, but I can tell you from the outside looking in order to beat New England, when you come in to play New England now without a Tom Brady, all you have to do is beat their defense, because their defense is what's keeping them in these games so far. It seems like Belichick has a short leash, on Jones and on Mac. And I think that something's telling him, obviously, not to let the kid open up. Whatever it is whatever he sees in practice. He's just like, this kid ain't ready. He's not gonna make the right reads. They're gonna fool him. He ain't no Tom Brady. He ain't reading the blitz like Brady was, And they have a lot of work to do. But I think that Belichick, all he's waiting is to pass Don Shula's record there, and it's bye bye Bill Belichick and back to New England to its old ways, or let's see what happens in the future. Okay, so. The Chiefs were victorious over the Bears. They crushed them 41 to 10. The Cowboys, now there's an interesting story right there. The Cowboys win their second game, week 2. And all of a sudden, Jerry Jones and all the Dallas Cowboy fans are talking about playoffs. Playoffs? Playoffs? Listen, this this loss for the Cowboys against Carolina is an eye opener for Dallas fans and for the Cowboys organization. Um, if a team's beating you without their starting quarterback and they're beating you with their backup, that there's a problem. There's a problem in that. So that being said, as the AFC East, the Dolphins are on top of that. The AFC North, the Ravens are on top of that. Um, um, the South, the Colts are on top of that. In the West, the Chiefs are on top of that division. As far as the NFC, the Eagles are leading the way in the East. The Packers are in the North. The Buccaneers in the South and the 49ers in the West. It's far too early in the season to really say any team is looking, that much dominant, where that I can say this is a clear Super Bowl candidate right here. I'm not really seeing that there's any team out there right now, besides like the Eagles. Now, the Eagles, look, what can you say about that kid Hurts? He's really, really coming into form. Um, the way he has, adopted the Eagles' way and made the transition to play their type of football in their scheme. And, he's really showing that he's ready for the big lights and, he's here. And he's going to be here for a long time. Shall he stay healthy? And I believe very soon, he's one of the teams that the Eagles are one of the teams right now that if I was to, categorize it as a whole, meaning the likely suspects are going to be there this year. Like, you got your Patrick Mahomes with your Kansas City Chiefs. They're always, there. Buffalo looks like they could be there, and then all of a sudden they have these lackluster performances that you're just like, Josh Allen, who? And then he comes out the following week and shoots their lights out. So Josh Allen is obviously a talent. It's early in the season and they have to put everything together. So, who else? Who else do we have that are like, the Chargers can always be in the mix. The Bengals are up and down right now. They have a lot of talent, but are they winning? That's where it has to come into play. The New England Patriots ain't the New England Patriots anymore. Neither are the Saints. The Ravens with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he's either hit or miss at this point with me. He's not showing consistency for me enough for me to rely on him. He's a great fantasy football quarterback where that he can get you a lot of points some nights with his arms and his leg. I can see why people would take him in a fantasy situation. But in an NFL situation, listen, he's just not consistent. So they have to figure out some things there. Look, is it just me, or is it that the Lions are starting to look pretty good, even with golf? You know, that guy really turned the Lions around. They're playing real hard nosed football all season. They were just that close from winning almost every game. And they took every team to the wire. The problem with the Lions is for so long they were losing that no other teams really respect them. They always think that they're going to be the Lions. Well, it doesn't look to be the case. So hopefully Detroit can have a strong season. It seems like they're becoming that team that can knock your playoff hopes right out the picture. So yeah, we'll see what happens with them. The Titans, they're always seems to be that team that can hang with the teams that are 500 or better. And then Derrick Henry gives you 2 points in fantasy football. The run, he they shut him down. They shut him down. I don't know if he's hurt or what, but from what I saw in the game, they shut him down. They showed the Tennessee Titans that if you're gonna beat us in the NFL, you're going to have to find multiple ways of beating us. You're just not going to run the ball down the middle. It's just, all the time. So the league's been put on notice of who Derrick Henry is. So it's no secret. They know they got to stop that man. You're going to have to find another way to beat me. That's what it is. So, look, Baker Mayfield. Now, there's a guy I wanted to talk about a little bit too. Baker Mayfield's taking over Tom Brady's job. It's not like taking over from Tom Brady in New England versus taking over from Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. That's two different Tom Bradys in different scenarios. Tom Brady did win a ring with Tampa Bay, but he's no Tampa Bay Buccaneer. As you can see, and you better believe it, Tom Brady's jersey will be retired as a Patriot. That's what Tom Brady is. He's a Patriot. Okay? So, I'm cheering for Baker Mayfield. He's bounced around. He's had a tough career. His story as a walk-on, not once but twice, is a remarkable one. And, it seems like he's at the point in his life where he's starting to mature. He just needs somebody in a team to believe in him. And so that he could be somewhere long enough and with the same head coach and the same coaching staff, for God's sake, he's what is he on? Is he on his ninth right now? Is it his ninth or his eighth? It's either one of those two. Coaching staff, coaches, so when you bounce around that much and you got to learn that many people's systems, first of all, you're lucky if you still have a job, okay, in the NFL, okay? The fact that not many quarterbacks get to, go through that is because quarterbacks and coaches usually stay around for a little while, so, and to learn that many systems, it's kind of a plus, and it kind of hurts Baker Mayfield. One, he's seen it all. He's probably seen more coaches' ways, so nothing's going to be really new to him. It's whether that he can understand it and his chemistry with his players, and Mike Evans and them catching the balls and stuff, and getting into rhythm and sync. I'm wishing and I'm hoping, I'm pulling here for Baker here. He brings some excitement to the NFL, and quarterbacks like him, we need some Bakers in the league. They could spice things up. So, I'm cheering for the guy. As far as the Chargers go too, I have the Chargers quarterback in my fantasy. So, the Chargers are a strong team as well. I have the Chargers in the same category I have like the Bengals, like the Colts, like the 49ers, like teams like that. Now, those are all the teams that I just mentioned, except the Ravens, right? Because something about the Ravens just they don't convince me. They don't convince me to the point where that you know, I don't know, Lamar, man. Lamar, man, you gotta make up your mind. Are you gonna be a field general, a pocket passer? Are you gonna are you gonna be a Michael Vick? Some games he wants to run around. Some game he wants to stay in the pocket. There's sometimes that he's so confused that in the moments he's supposed to run, he's still looking to throw the ball because he wants to get better at throwing the ball. The elite quarterbacks in the moment they can separate the two. Like a Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, he knows when to scramble. He knows when to go forward and stuff, and he does it very well. He's been coming off of that ankle injury in the recent years, and he hasn't been as mobile when he did. But remember how explosive he was when he first came into the league? Patrick Mahomes was really explosive. So, yeah. So, look, let's talk boxing, okay? Jamel Charlo and Saul Canelo Alvarez is coming into no, not probably. It is the biggest fight in boxing history. Why do I say that? Because this has never happened. That's why I'm saying that. What's about to take place on September 30th, has never happened, not one time in the sport of boxing, where a man was given the opportunity to stand to win 8 belts simultaneously. Man, I keep saying this. It's like finding a unicorn because I do not believe that my kids' kids will witness something like this. In fact, no one has ever witnessed anything like this until September 30th arrives and they get in the ring and square up. Okay? In fact, because it's never happened. Now, Saul Canelo Alvarez is a tough Mexican fighter. And if you can fight your way out of Mexico and be the number one guy in Mexico, that's saying a lot. Not only that, Floyd Mayweather basically passed him the torch when Saul Canelo Alvarez faced him, and in defeat, his stock rised. Okay? So Canelo Alvarez is the champion coming into this fight at 168 pounds, and Jamel Ironman Charlo is the challenger. But he is currently the 154-pound champion of the world, where he holds all 4 belts at 154. Now, this is a historical event for boxing records, Hall of Fame moments. I'm not quite sure if this will ever repeat itself, like I said. But as far as the fight itself, there has been a lot said about Canelo Alvarez, right? Many people have called him a hype job and he's on a protective list, this, that, and everything, right? But if he's such a hype job and he was put on a protective list and he's not who they say he is, then why is it that all boxing gambling sites, Las Vegas, everybody has Canelo Alvarez coming into this fight the favorite? And I'm going to tell you right now, Las Vegas is not stupid on taking your money. All right? They know how to pick a winner. And if Las Vegas and every boxing gambling site leading into the fight is going to have Canelo Alvarez favorite, it's for a reason. He's a well-seasoned fighter. He is well schooled in the art of boxing. Now, not every fighter has all the speed in the world and all the talent. There are fighters that can be patient and wait for their moment, can set up a punch, can been luring you in all night. You have no idea what's been going on and why he's been moving this way, that way, until you wake up with a flashlight in your eyes. Okay? Canelo Alvarez is a true boxer. Okay? And he may not possess all the speed in the world and all the flashy, slick stuff, but what he does possess, he's very good at. And he understands who he is as a fighter. Now, judging off his last three performances, a lot of boxing analysts and fighting punts are criticizing him and judging him based on those last three performances. And why wouldn't you? Because that's what you're measuring off, what you're coming off. But sometimes there's opponents and fights out there that really bring the best out in you. And I really believe that Canelo Alvarez, going back to his weight at 168 and being there to defend the titles, I really believe that it's going to bring the best out in him. He knows he's not ready to pass the torch. And in order to solidify his number one status at the top, he's going to have to win this fight right here. Whoever wins this fight is definitely going to catapult to another level in their career. Shall Jamel Charlo win this fight? I mean, we've already talked about this. His name will go down in the record books for being the first man to simultaneously hold 8 belts. Okay? That is ridiculous in itself right there. So his stock will rise. Now, Jamel Charlo is a good fighter. Sometimes he can be a bit wild. He opens up a little bit wild and he throws hard. But the one thing I did notice is that he throws hard all night. The Charlo twin consistently will throw hard punches, and he occasionally has been bailed out by his power. In the fight, close fight, or on some judges' scorecards, they had him losing in the fight, and his power bailed him out, where he was able to knock out the opponent. So, Jamel Charlo does have knockout power, and he is the 4 belt holder, the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. So it goes to show you that, he's more than up for the challenge. He's coming in taller than Saul Canelo Alvarez. He has a longer reach. Now, what we're talking about here, and most of the gambling websites and boxing analysts, is whether he's able to sustain it. No one's doubting that Jamel Charlo has fighting skills. Okay? We know he can fight. Okay? It's how long he can sustain it. And can he take Canelo Alvarez's power? Because let's not forget, the Charlo twin is the one moving up in weight. Canelo Alvarez has been knocking guys out this size his entire career, basically. So I'm not sure if Jamel Charlo has been hit with a guy that can hit his crack as hard as Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez can crack. I see this fight, in one way, Canelo Alvarez dragging him out to deep water and then putting him away. I didn't think that Terrence Crawford was going to whoop Errol Spence Jr.'s ass that bad. And I didn't think he was going to knock down Errol Spence Jr. And coming into the fight, under my impression, I thought that Errol Spence Jr. was going to be the bigger man. He didn't look like the bigger man, and he didn't look like the bigger puncher. He didn't look like the faster guy, and he didn't look like the guy that had the most skill. And impressively or not, Terrence Crawford was doing whatever he wanted. That was a complete shock. I was not prepared to see what I was just watching in that Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford fight. And, and the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight, sometimes you think about things in the way that they can play out, in the way they should play out. And sometimes shit happens, Do I see a dominant performance, a one-sided performance by either man? No. But could it happen? Yes, it could. Do I see either man knocking out either man? No. Being the fact that Saul Canelo Alvarez has not knocked out anybody in how long? He ain't knocked out nobody in his last 3 fights. He had Ryder hurt and he couldn't finish him. So it's not giving me that, he's going to knock him out. There's going to be a big knockout here. What I'm saying is we are going to get the best version of both guys. That I believe. I believe it's going to be a 12-round decision, and Saul Canelo Alvarez could, he'll pull off the decision in a 12-round decision. I don't think Jamel Charlo will win a decision, but only time will tell. You know what I mean? Judges have been fair, and judges have been known to have outrageous scorecards. Okay, so yes, September 30th is a mega showdown between U.S. and Mexico. Whenever you have U.S. and Mexico fighters coming at on a world stage like this for title fights like this, with this much at stake on the line, you can better believe that there's gonna be some fireworks, and they're both of these guys are gonna bring their A game. So please join me September 30th. And yes, we are still doing the giveaway. I'm working out the kinks on it. I wanted to try to get it before the fight, but it's not as easy as I thought. I thought, I could just announce this and some people will like it roll and then we'll just do it. But I got so many different opinions on it and different ways of doing this. So yeah, but definitely we're still gonna do it. And we have signed autograph just in case for all the members, subscribers. All you have to do is, as a matter of fact, right after this video, if you want to comment and you want to enter the raffle, I'll start taking the names now. Why don't I just start doing that? You could put down R1, and you could leave your comment, but at the beginning or the end of your comment you leave an R1, and I will take your name into the raffle, and we'll start putting it in like that. Well, this is my first one, so let me figure this out too and figure out all the kinks. By the way, we got a new the studio is really coming together, as you can see. We got a new banner, a new emblem at Round One Sports Talk, and we're here to bring you the latest in boxing news and sports talk. So that's all I have for you today, YouTube family. Like always, I'm on to the next one. Please like, subscribe to the videos. Peace.